Oh, hi. I'm so glad you're here. Come on in. I'll give you a tour of the studio. First thing you see when you come in our studio is what we call the office. Sometimes we call it the foyer. But what it is for me, it's a representation of things I've done in my career, both as a photographer and as a painter. I also keep some special mementos that as I come in, and this is one of my greatest accomplishments as a ranger, and this I did for MSU for a powwow. And as you come out of the foyer, you can see the big open space that we have. There's the restroom, there's storage, there's part of the mercantile, and then we call this the big room. And this is a multi-purpose room. That door you see right there, of course, opens all the way up, and depending on the weather, look at this. This is before we moved in. This is what it looked like from upstairs. And of course, what you got to think of is how you're going to divide this up and make it all useful. You know, we made drawings. This contraption, it was left here, and boy, have we used it. I do all kinds of mounting and begging, and we decided right away that it should be kitchen on this side, and now we're fully operational to have not only we can spend days. Oh, Roger the Buffalo, I'm his caretaker. Here's where we ship. We do, of course, these days we do a lot of shipping and gifts from talented artistic friends. So here's the teaching tables, and that's where I do the begging and mounting. And as you look back, you can get a sense of what you would see if you're teaching here or coming to a holiday open house. This would all be decorated, and you'd be at one of those tables. And now we walk into the mercantile, and which I like to call the mercantile. So depending on the holiday and how it's dressed up, you can see the amount of room we have for originals and giclées, and then we get into merchandise. And this is how it started, and we had to figure out what to do with it and how to turn it into a store. And of course, Danny, my husband, he designed everything. You know, once he was done designing and building, then I kind of took over from there and did all the personal stuff, of course, in the organization. And here we go up to the second floor where I actually work. The first thing you come into is what we refer to as the lounge. And this is more important than you can imagine. It's not only important for us to take a break, and it's also important when people are allowed to come over. Wow, look at the difference. Once again, you can see some boards came down, some went up, it was painted. And then, of course, the warmth added with all the furniture. But when people come over, this is a natural place to gather. And as you're sitting in the lounge and you look down, this is what you see. I hope this gives you a sense, but wait till you see this. This is where I store my art supplies and where I actually make the art. So we decided to use this, if you want to call it hallway, for the storage of oh, that's a great shot of it. Give you an idea of what was there before. As you can see, all the wood that was put up, wood was taken down, things were painted. What I like to see at this point is when all the art supplies come up that were added to it. You can never have too many art supplies. And that's all divided up between medias, because I'm lucky that I get to work in a lot of different medias. I always wanted a studio with a brick wall, so I made one. That's actually wallpaper. Made my brick wall. But I love having it there, and it always reminds me of New York. This area we call the journal area because I do a lot of art journals and for Sal and for myself. So that's the area we do that. And when we get over to this area, it's the tech area. It's where the printer and computers are. And of course, what it all comes down to is a certain vibe you want to create. Like this. This is a cast of a brown bear from Alaska. I don't know if you can even tell. And here, these are vintage souvenirs from Yellowstone National Park. So let's take a look at what we had to work with. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But this is the way that we chose to divide it up. And as we swing around from the journal area, that's what it looked like. It was divided. There was a wall. There was an entryway. You'll be able to see the furnace as we come around here. It's by the surfboard back there and behind the paintings. I like to be at the railing where I can look at the door. It's just what I like when I'm working. Oh, our clock. We made sure you can see this clock from every angle of the studio, so no matter what you're doing, you can check that. And here we are at the end of the studio, and in that reflection there is the handsome hubby, Dan House. And my name tags are on the wall from different shows I've done, just to remind us of how much work has been done. Thank you for coming today.